Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. In today's video, I wanted to share with you some new Laura Geller makeup that I have recently purchased, and I thought I would go ahead and pair it with some of my old favorites of Laura Geller and do a get ready with me. And the newer products that I have purchased, I have been using for a week or two because I just wanted to be able to give you my opinion on whether I like them or not. So why don't we go ahead and get started and put on some Laura Geller makeup. All right, this is the Spackle Illuminating Under Eye Primer. And I really like this product. So I'm gonna read to you on the website what the claims are for this under eye illuminator. It says this 2-in-1 primer helps to keep your concealer in place while brightening and hydrating your under eye area, ensuring you looked refreshed even after a late night. And it says that you can apply this and then apply concealer over it, or you can just use this and it kind of brightens up your under eye area enough sometimes where I feel like I don't even need concealer with this. So let me go ahead and we're going to apply some of this. All right, so here you can see I've just applied a couple of dots, and then all I've been doing is just kind of tapping it in with my ring finger. And it's very hydrating. It feels really nice under my eyes. And most of the time, dark circles aren't too much of a problem for me. I don't have to wear concealer every day. I didn't get the best night's sleep, and I do want to kind of show you how concealer goes on over this because I have found this is a great base for concealer. All right, so I've just kind of let that dry down a little bit. Now, the only concealer that I have from Laura Geller is, this is the Spackle concealer that I don't think she even makes this one anymore. And this was okay, but I felt like you really had to work a lot to get this to look nice under your eyes. So I'm not going to use this, and I didn't order a new concealer from her. I think I'm just gonna use the NARS Creamy Concealer today, and just so you can see like how nice this is as an under eye like primer, I think. All right, so that's usually the amount of concealer that I apply. And I really find that most of the time my ring fingers are the best way for me to apply concealer. I have different concealer brushes, but I find maybe because my eyes are small that it's like hard to kind of get in there. So my ring fingers seem to be what works the best for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tap this in. And that is the concealer applied. All right, so now that I've got the concealer on, the next thing I'm gonna go is my tried and true. This is the Baked Balance and Brighten foundation from Laura Geller, and I now am wearing the shade Fair. And this is one of my go-tos that I wear this foundation probably more than I wear any other foundation that I own. All right, so this is how the foundation looks on. All right, so the next new product that I purchased, Baked to Go Bronze and Brighten bronzer in the shade Fair. And I ordered the travel size of these. Honestly, I did not know she even made travel sizes, but it comes in this little case with a kind of a sponge tip applicator, which I can tell you that I'm not thrilled with this application. Apparently what you're supposed to do is just kind of dip the sponge in here and then dab on, and then I'm assuming brush out because you can't really blend the bronzer that well with this sponge. But what I've just been doing is sticking a brush in here to gather some of this bronzer. And you can see this is swirled here. And I'm just gonna put this over the high points of my face. I will say that this bronzer is pretty pigmented. I can see in the viewfinder that it's given me some color for sure. So I am just trying to go ahead and blend. All right, so I do have the bronzer on, And I can see from the viewfinder, I think I was a little heavy-handed with it today. But I do think it's a pretty like color, the fair. I think this is probably the lightest that it comes in. So I could definitely not, with my skin tone, go darker because I can already see that this looks like I've got quite a glow here. So I'm glad that I was able to try this, and it's a travel size, but I will have to say that this component and the way that you're supposed to apply this, I think it's kind of gimmicky and I don't really like that. But the bronzer itself I think could be nice. I don't think it's my favorite bronzer, but I probably will be able to use this up. But right now I think I went just a little bit heavy-handed, so I'm gonna try just to blend a little bit more before we go on to the next step. All right, so the next thing we're gonna apply is the blush, is a blush that I picked up recently. And this is the Bake To Go Blush and Brighten in the shade Tropic Hues. And once again, it's that strange little component with a sponge applicator, and then the blush is like deep down in this little container. Now the blush itself is really pretty, but I don't really like applying it with this one. I did try this and put this on my cheek, the foam here. It just kind of like deposited too much blush, and it was a little bit hard to kind of blend out. So I'm not a huge fan of this, but the blush itself is kind of pretty. Once again, I'm just gonna stick a brush kind of in here and get a little bit out. And I do remember it's kind of pigmented, so you don't need a whole lot of this. All right, that's just about as much blush as I am going to apply today. So overall, I think it's a pretty shade. I think you don't have to use a lot. It is pretty pigmented, but it also is very shimmery. So just keep that in mind if you don't like a shimmery blush. But overall, I think it's an okay blush. Next, I'm gonna put on some eyeshadow. And I did want to share with you that I picked this eyeshadow palette up from Laura Geller, and I love this, but I was thinking to myself, what was I thinking? Look at all of these beautiful colors. I mean, they're gorgeous eyeshadows. They're right up my alley as far as colors, but this thing is so big that if I decided I fell in love with one of these colors, what am I gonna do? I have to bring this huge palette traveling. So it's a little too big for me. I like the colors, but this is a little too big. So what I am gonna use is this palette here that I picked up from Laura Geller. I don't know, I probably got this last year sometime, and this has actually become one of my favorites. It's just a great nude palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply some of this eyeshadow. I might even just do one shade and call it a day. I've been liking just doing like a nude, like one and done type thing, and it just kind of goes along with the Laura Geller just easy makeup look. And I probably am gonna do that today. So I'm just using this shade, I think it's called Ivory Rose. It's just a nice like kind of taupey beige. So I'm just gonna do the one shadow, make it really easy today. But this one is a really pretty palette. I'm not even sure this is available anymore on the website. If it is, I'll definitely link it because it actually has become a favorite eyeshadow palette of mine. All right, now as far as mascara and eyeliner, I don't have any mascara from Laura Geller, and the only eyeliner that I have from her is the Kajal eyeliner. And I don't really like this just because it's so, the tip is so thick that it's really hard for me to apply in a neat way. It's a little too big for me. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just apply my favorite Thrive Cosmetics mascara, and I will meet you right back here to finish up this look. All right, so I applied some mascara, and I don't even think I'm gonna put any eyeliner on today. I am just running some errands and basically hanging out here at home, so I think this is fine for today with just some mascara. I'm not even gonna put any eyeliner. All right, so whenever I put concealer on, I always set it, and I love her powder. This is the Universal Filter Finish Radiant Setting Powder. I just broke the top off the other day. It's one of the swirled powders, and I absolutely love this for setting under the eyes. And what I do when I'm setting under my eyes is I try to grab mostly the peach and the purple, because the peach is color correcting and the purple is brightening. And I think that's a really good look underneath the eye area. So that's what I try to get my little brush into. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and set that. All right, so after setting my eyes, I am just gonna apply a little of this powder all over, mostly down my T-zone. I'm not a huge powder person because I really dislike a cakey look that a lot of them give me. And this powder never does that for me. So this one is definitely a favorite. All right, and the last thing I'm going to do to finish off this look, and this is a new product from Laura Geller that I recently purchased. This is called the Jelly Balm Hydrating Lip Color. And I'm going to put up on the screen what the color is because I cannot read the bottom of the tube. But I am loving this lippy. It's very hydrating. It's got some nice color. It's really comfortable to wear. I picked, this is like a, a nice nude shade for me. And like I said, I will have put it up on the screen so that you can see the color that I got. So it's more on the matte side. It's definitely not a gloss, but it feels so comfortable. It really does feel like you're wearing a lip balm, which I love, but with the added color. So this is definitely one that I have been reaching for a lot since I got this. I am really enjoying this lip balm from her. And I do think the color is really pretty. What do you think? Do you have any of the Laura Geller products? Do you have some favorites like I do? So of course my old favorites, this Baked Balance and Brighten foundation, absolutely love this. I do love the filter powder, and this eyeshadow palette has definitely become an old favorite. As far as the new products that I just recently purchased, I really love this under eye illuminator. I think this is just a really great base for concealer, but if you don't need concealer on a regular basis, this just does a little bit of brightening. I think on those days when you just need a little something under your eyes, I really, really like this. Loving this Jelly Balm Lippy. This is fantastic. I love how it feels. I love this color. This is a really good one. And the bronzer and the blush, they're kind of growing on me. I will keep wearing these, and I think there's nothing wrong with them. I guess there was just a little bit of like glowiness that I didn't know if it was going to be too much, but actually I think the finished product looks pretty good. And so I do think these are worth it as well. So friends, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with me. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all next time. Bye.